How did you like working with Tully Blanchard?
I love Tully Blanchard. I worked for him when I was a kid earlier in my days. Uh, my dad, well, I told you, he's in a business, and I'm so he could see. It's like he could see the future. He told me, he said, tag team wrestling's where it's going to be at, and and I was fortunate. My first tag team partner was Sonny King. Uh, God, he was great. I learned a lot from him. And then I was a young kid in the business, and I went to another territory for Oklahoma, and Eddie Gilbert was my partner. But Eddie Gilbert was only 17. A lot of places he couldn't work because he wasn't old enough to get a wrestling license. But then I went back to Memphis, and I teamed up with a guy named Ken Lucas. And a lot of people tell me, Ricky Morton, you were the greatest baby face in this business. But no, Ken Lucas was the greatest baby face in this business. I teamed up with Ken, and me and him went to Southwest Championship Wrestling, which was owned by Joe Blanchard, Tully Blanchard's dad. And Tully was the booker. Tully seen a lot in me then. I learned so much from Ken. I worked with Tully and Gino Hernandez. Guys, we had some unbelievable matches. But then Tully there, too, seen me as in a single. He brought, and you're talking about managers, the best one that I left out was Bobby Heenan. Gosh, I mean, how did I leave him out a while ago? But Nick Bockwinkel came in, and Bobby Heenan see me wrestle Ken Lucas in a match. So he set it up with Tully because, he kept wrestling the same Scott Casey or somebody like that here. And they gave me a little push as a young kid, Tully did, to work with Nick. But understand, I mean, we were in a territory where Tully was the booker, his dad owned it, me and Ken Lucas, and the territory did great. Don't get me wrong, we didn't. I mean, we like the business is nowadays, but man, we did great business. So, as a Tully, I, as business wise, and as friendships, I see him every now and then. I know his daughter real good, Tessa. I don't know why somebody hadn't signed her for a couple of $1 million a year. She's unbelievable. But, she learned from her dad. Tully had he's got a great mind for the business. I don't know if you know this or not. Tully he played football at West Texas State. That's where a lot of the boys played from. I don't know if you know this or not, but Tully was quarterback there in college. He was a true athlete, man. I'm not bullshitting you. I tell you the best thing, if you ever see Tully again, you ought to pass football with him. Because, man, he'll throw a football and knock your ass down with it. I ain't never seen somebody throw a football so hard in my life. But knowing Tully, did a lot of business with Tully, made a lot of money with Tully. He was a big part of the Four Horsemen. And his interviews, gosh, great.
Could you tell the story about you saw him on this religious show and he kind of
Oh, I knew you was going to ask me that. But you know what? That happened another time too. Especially when especially when you don't want to be noticed. You know what I'm saying? That was with Tully. He was turning religious at the time, and my first wife. We got a divorce after that, but that's the way it was, dude. I was in a business that I had the world ahead of me, but she was turning religious, and she said, "Tully Blanchard's going to be on the 700 Club tonight. And let's watch it." Lord and behold, here comes Tully out there, and it's not me and the boys; it's me and Ricky Morton. Ounces of cocaine, women every night, blah, 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 blah. And I actually watched horns grow out of my wife's head at that time. I just did a forward flip right out in the middle of the road and just laid there. She dropped the elbow, covered me 1, 2, 3. It was over with. I was gone. But and another time, dude, it's just your name being a part of something. And hell, I don't do that. It's a lot. Let me tell you, dude, I partied a lot in my life, but I was never with a girl that didn't want to be with me, never underage, never messed around with any of the boys' girlfriends or their wives, uh, even after they broke up with them. That wasn't, I'm one of the boys, I'm one of the true boys. No, stayed away from them and understand that that's the way I did. That's the way I did things. But now here I am with a guy that makes he's a cripple boy, and he's making my DVDs for me, and he usually goes with me and helps me sell them. And I called him. I says, "Will you?" He says, "Oh, I got to go out of town to do something." I said, "All right, I'll meet you." But I never heard from him for like a week or two. And I'm watching. Remember did y'all get the show there called The Predator?
Oh, To Catch a Predator. Yeah.
Yeah, To Catch a Predator.
Yeah.
I'm watching this on TV. And the reason that got me to watch it is because they got a guy called the Wrestling Dude. And I said, the Wrestling Dude? I'm gonna start, it caught my eye. So I'm watching this, and all of a sudden I look at it's Dustin, and he's reading off all this shit that he told this girl, and the girl ain't but like 12 years old. And I got it, and my daughters were young at that time, and I said, God, I'd have killed this son of a bitch if he'd have done that to my kids. You understand me? But then they kept calling, and the guy, holy shit, man. I watched TV and he asked this guy, he goes, "Why do you call yourself the Wrestling Dude?" Because he's crippled. He goes, "Oh, I work for Ricky Morton of the Rock and Roll Express." Hey, I almost shit on myself. "Well, you son of a bitch, shut up. You don't work for me. You just make DVDs for me." It was, after you think about it, it's funny as hell.
Yeah.
But it wasn't at the time. And it's right now the thing with Tully. At the time it wasn't, but now it's funny. Who gives a shit? I don't hate him for it because the marriage wouldn't have lasted anyway. I've been happily married a bunch of times. No, I'm lying to you. I've been after that. I've been married to the same woman after that all these years. Go ahead.
Just because Tully Blanchard is a preacher, have you heard about all this stuff going on with Ted Dibiase lately?
Well, you know what? I really don't have an answer for that. But one thing that I do, and you always remember this, well, I believe in Jesus Christ. You hear me? I'm a firm believer. Now, I'm me. God knows me. I say my prayers to everybody, and that stuff. But you see, when you mess with the religious stuff, it's going to come back and bite you. And the ultimate price you're going to pay is when your ass dies. That's just the way, to me, I look at it. Don't know what Ted's done. Ted's always been nice to me. I've always been nice with him. He is a hell of a worker, man. What great matches I had with him. Matter of fact, I was working him in the Superdome when Jimmy Crockett come to see us. And I told Ted, it was the way with Ted at Dr. Death. I said, Jimmy, a little man out here come told me he'd come all the way from Charlotte, North Carolina to watch us wrestle. I didn't know Jimmy Crockett at the time. He goes, yeah, I'll never forget. Ted said, well, we'll give him something to see. By God, we did too. But getting on with the religious stuff, I know a lot of the boys. I've been at some of the wrestling sign-ins, the Comic Cons, and they'd be sitting at the table, and all the boys sitting at the table are so-called religious guys, and I'm eating, and I'd get up with I'd get up from the table, go sit at another table, because I thought lightning was going to hit that son of a bitch, buddy. God almighty. All y'all going to burn in hell.
Thank you for watching the Hannibal TV. Please like this video if you enjoyed it, and click the subscribe button to not miss any of our latest shoot interviews, match videos, or news updates. Support us on patreon.com for $1.99 a month to watch our full shoot interviews ad-free and help our channel grow. Follow us on Twitter at the Hannibal TV for instant updates.